Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Makara. Let's get started today. Today we're talking about how to hold that effortless state. And I think the process from this book, Effortless, is a really easy one. And I just wanted to go through and kind of summarize this for you through my lens as a flow state catalyst and coach. The subtitle is Make It Easier to Do What Matters Most. I think this is a very powerful subtitle because oftentimes we don't prioritize things in our life. We don't place what is the most important thing in our minds, right? So it says here that the effortless state is an experience many of us have had when we are, note this is really key, physically rested, emotionally unburdened, and mentally energized. I think this is a powerful triad. You're completely aware, present, alert, attentive. You're almost in alpha waves. You're grounded and calm, yet you're still alert and energized. What is the state good for? This state changes the state of everybody else. Because if you're feeling effortless and comfortable in your environment, everybody else will start feeling comfortable around you, and they'll truly feel like opening up and being themselves around you. But if you hold up this wall, this facade, okay, this random polite distance, they're gonna do the same. People are going off of our energies, guys. Physically rested. Are you taking the adequate amount of rest that you need? Are you taking the adequate amount of rest that you need? That's number one. I think I need to work on this primary in this next year, okay? My sleep habits have been put on a backlog almost, in a sense. I talk to myself like, oh yeah, I can think about it later. But when is later? Later is a question mark. Later is not a destination. If I told myself I'll do it on Thursday and I don't do it on Thursday, what does that do to my psyche? It affects my self-esteem, and I lose trust with my own subconscious mind like that. So what if you could tell yourself to do things that you would follow through on? Nowadays, I'm taking apple cider vinegar in the morning on an empty stomach with warm water, and it's really helping me, man, with my digestion, focus, weight loss, everything. I actually have begun to like the taste. It feels very cleansing. It's powerful, man. It takes a bit of getting used to, but I like to challenge myself with things like this, and this book is reminding me of this. So physically rested, okay? Number two, emotionally unburdened. Do you have random things you're thinking about? Random people that you're like, oh, I wonder what they're thinking about, or oh yeah, they backstabbed me last week, or talking about gossip all the time and what's on the news and constantly bombarding your senses with all this information overload. Maybe you've also been through some level of trauma or heartbreak or financial collapse, whatever it might be, right? That affects your state to be effortless. In that state, you feel like you're in fight or flight. You feel like you're in a protective mode. The strange thing is, in that mode where the vagus nerve is activating, right? And we know we need to dance, let go, socialize, right? And it's gonna be better. We think that that's the most terrifying thing too. Like, what if they won't like me? And then we start getting emotionally burdened in that realm. So instead, what do? You catch it. You catch that moment where you feel like you're internally, reclining inwards or whatever. But I understood it's as easy as a state shift because I tried this experiment with the Monkey app, okay? First, I just got on it willy-nilly, okay? I just got on it just randomly like, oh, hey, what's up? Nobody paid attention to me. Then the second time, it state pumped. I got myself feeling good, right? I played affirmations, I played subliminals, I was dancing, I was having a good time, I was having a vibe. And then I started communicating. And I wouldn't even make a joke, and the person on the other side of that camera, on the other side of the world, would start laughing. Fantastic revelation there, because this is what I needed as a confirmation. As a flow state coach and a mystic scientist, I love to delve into this stuff, and I really do think that social charisma and spirituality, they're connected. We're trying to find the bridge here, guys. We are Primal Sutra. We believe in getting back to the basics, back to the core, back to the primal. And I've been exploring this for such a long time, man. Such an interesting topic to me. And the last one, of course, being mentally energized. Got my black coffee right here, okay? A lot of people think that's gross or whatever. If you're younger, I understand that. If you're younger, you're probably like, but that stuff is like bitter or whatever, you know? I don't know what, but coffee does something to me. And I like it. It does something to me that energizes me differently. But it's gotta be the right brand of coffee, and it's gotta be the right strength of coffee. I feel like it does something to my brain where it actually puts me like in this effortless state, if that makes sense. It doesn't make me too jittery like it used to. Maybe I've built up a tolerance or something, I don't know. But nowadays it kind of grounds me and calms me. Very interesting. Like drinking coffee and then I can have a nap, like that kind of thing. It's okay to be where you're at, but don't try to backmask and go forwards and backwards in your minds, hiding from your reality. That's never gonna work. We're at the year of the dragon, baby, okay? There's no more hiding. It's Saturn in charge, which means you gotta humble yourself, which means you gotta give back, which means that you're getting instant karma. So all the hard work that you've been doing the past year, guess what? Now it's time to rack up the points. It's time to go inwards and really figure ourselves out. Who are we really? Will we remember the gods that we were? Will we remember the ascended masters that we were? Next is you're able to focus on what matters with most ease. So they've broken down the effortless state into invert, enjoy, release, rest, and notice. So they called it effortless state, effortless action, effortless results. Let's go through them a little bit. I'll just explain it through my understanding. So inverting is this idea of taking the negative or overwhelming thought and then flipping the script on it, almost like flipping a coin from heads to tails. I used to do this quite a lot in the past when I got started with positive psychology. I would take some seemingly negative concept and ask myself the question that was in the opposite frame. So the example they gave here is, why is this so hard? You could just ask, what if this could be easy, right? So you just kind of invert it. Challenge the assumption that the right way is inevitably the harder one. Okay, it doesn't have to be difficult. This is a good question. How am I making this harder than it needs to be? How am I making this harder than it needs to be? Okay, very good. So invert. Next is enjoy. Essential activities with enjoyable ones. Accept that work and play can coexist. Okay? It's not work now, play later. Okay, like some kind of weird. Why are you procrastinating on your joy that could have been had in that moment? Tell me that. Why can't work be fun for you? Can you turn these tedious tasks into meaningful rituals? That's the art form. Can you allow yourself to laugh at the cosmic joke of it all, at the absurdity of the moment? I like this next one, release, and it says, use this habit recipe. Each time I complain, I will say something that I'm thankful for. Powerful. Ooh, I like this one. Relieve a grudge. You know how we hold grudges? So the question is, what job have I hired this grudge to do? Oh, that's powerful, because you're thinking of yourself as a company, right? You're thinking of yourself as a business, as a professional. And if you can look at your emotions like that, and you've been holding on to some grudge or some memory against someone, you haven't forgiven them or whatever, right? What job has that grudge been set? Like, how has it been set, you know? It's good to reflect on these things. The art of doing nothing. effortless naps, you know? Do not do more today than you can completely recover from by tomorrow. Yeah, break down essential work into 3 sessions of no more than 90 minutes each. I really appreciate this. Pomodoro is a great technique too, just to have little breaks in between that. It's really 6 split sessions, right? And notice is the final one. So achieve a heightened awareness by harnessing the power of presence. Train your brain to focus on the important and ignore the relevant. Yeah, I just wanted to go through the effortless state one. I won't really get into the action or the results. You can get the book yourself, man, you know, and read it. But I think this triad, clear that triad is really, really powerful that I shared, right? So are you well rested? Okay, physically rested? In your body, do you feel a lot of tension and clunkiness and joint pain and like, you know what I mean? As you get older, you feel all these weird aches and pains that, like phantom pains even, like that show up randomly and knocks on your door, right? And you go, dude, get out of here, dude. I'm just trying to get something done, right? But what if we treated our bodies with a lot more love and compassion that we need? What if that means engineering and understanding our feminine side? I wouldn't need a woman if I understood I had those qualities inside me to be clean and take care of my body and my skin, you know? My skincare is getting a little bit better, I think. There's still some little blackheads and stuff like this, but I think it's slowly starting to go away. I'm doing a lot more work on myself this year, so I know that by the end of this one, wow, it's gonna be a whole different guy, man. You know, make sure you're drinking lots of water, keep yourself mentally energized, listen to gamma waves, but if you do listen, make sure you again drink lots of water because that can be dehydrating. And then finally, just practice total calm. Total and absolute calm. Once you can do that, you can notice that you can even maintain this high level of calm in very adverse or challenging situations where you feel like you're in a pressure cooker almost. What I like to do is I wiggle my toes so it brings all the anxiety down and I feel completely embodied. So that really helps me actually. So you can do something similar if you'd like. All right, guys, I have to get going. I hope you have an incredible new year. Happy New Year to all of you from across the globe. May we never be the same again. We're all gonna make it. Upward Spiral Gang, I'll see you on the other side, Os.